has brought this Constitution to millions of people, and I hold in my hand the official bicentennial copy of the Constitution, pocket size, and if you would like to have one, you need only write a letter or a postcard addressed Constitution, Washington, D.C., and in due course, you will receive it.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Justice. George Washington's diary tells us that after the session ended, the delegates adjourned to City Tavern, then dined together and took a cordial leave of each other. I think that it is appropriate that we continue our celebration at Penn's Landing and along the adjacent Delaware River waterfront, where you can participate in the great American picnic that will continue until the fireworks tonight at 10:45. There is food and entertainment all evening, and the fireworks and the lighting of the Benjamin Franklin Bridge will begin at 10:30 and conclude at 11 o'clock, with fireworks beginning at approximately 11 o'clock. We will now hear from the Jubilee Ringers of Delaware County in a handbell rendition of America the Beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, we're just a couple of minutes away from the bell ringing. I would like to remind you, as soon as this ceremony is over, Independence Hall will open, and it will remain open as long as anyone wishes to visit it on this day of the bicentennial of the signing of the Constitution. I'm going to ask Chief Justice Berger and Mrs. Wexler if they will move toward the bell. This bell, the replica of the Liberty Bell, will ring first. It will signal the centennial bell in the tower and be followed by the bicentennial bell and bells all over America. Mary? I'm counting down.
10.
Not only at churches across America, but at American military installations throughout the world are bells now tolling to mark the signing of the Constitution 200 years ago. What a dramatic and climactic moment on this historic day. American bases in Germany, in South Korea, across the world, the bells are now tolling, all sparked by the signal given right here at Independence Hall in Philadelphia. Even on the ships in the Persian Gulf. It's almost a mind-boggling thought when you think about it. Later tonight, we will see that bridge lit like we have never seen it before. The spectacular lighting of the Ben Franklin Bridge tonight. Of course, we will be there as we continue our coverage. Dave Frankel, you were there to see it in person. Was it as spectacular in person as it was on television? Perhaps even more so.
It brought a chill to me, it brought a lump to my throat, and it literally brought a tear to my eye. And I expected this. I knew exactly what was going to happen. We had the agenda. But I must tell you, it was dramatic, it was emotional, and it really brought home the importance of just exactly what it is we are celebrating down here. And it was indeed a very, very moving moment.
This has been a day of activities leading up to one climactic moment. Not to suggest that the activities are over, not by a long shot, but from an historical point of view, leading up to a climactic moment, the tolling of the Liberty Bell replica at 4 o'clock, when those 39 men, actually 38 as we found out today, one of the signers was too ill to attend, and so his name was signed by a fellow delegate from Delaware, but for the purposes of history, to oversimplify perhaps, when those 39 men affixed their names to the Constitution at 4 o'clock, September 17th, 1787. And we have just seen and heard the moment of anniversary. Of course, as we are all aware, what happened 200 years ago, 6 minutes ago, was only the beginning of the battle. They signed their names to the Constitution, but it took another 9 or 10 months before it was ratified. When the state of New Hampshire ratified it in 1788, it then became the law of the land. But it was from this moment on when the great American debate, the popular debate, began. Should this Constitution be our guiding light? Should we have a constitutional democracy? And so it really started now. It didn't end now. We all know the result. We'll be back with more We the People, Constitution Day in Philadelphia in just a moment.
Now, the sale that cuts your floor covering costs in half. It's Spectrum Carpet's biggest ever half-price sale.
Half price?
Up to half price on many national brand installed and do-it-yourself carpets. Up to half price on room-size carpet remnants. Up to half price on wall-to-wall carpet. Yes, at Spectrum Carpets, you'll find half-price savings on more carpet and more carpet remnants than anywhere. So cut your floor covering cost in half during Spectrum Carpet's half-price sale.
200 years ago, our founding fathers gathered to write our ticket to freedom. 200 years later, the Pennsylvania Lottery presents US 200, a very different kind of ticket to freedom. $200,000 worth, instantly.
200,000?
Or you could win a free ticket that could get you up to $1 million Saturday night on live TV.
TV? It goes with your VCR.
Play US 200, the new $1 instant game. And since it's a free country, feel free to enjoy it however it suits you.
Citrus Hill Select's big new 96-ounce jug. It sure got a whole lot to love.
Citrus Hill Select gets its freshness from the heart and puts it in a jug, but that's only where we start. It's resealable and shakeable and doesn't make a mess. Your family's gonna love it cause it helps the juice stay fresh. Shake, shake, twist, twist, feel for our big 96-ounce jug. Fresh, so much more than more.
Dreyfus meets with his accountant.
Your sources of income? Dreyfus Tax-Exempt Bond Fund. Dreyfus Intermediate Tax-Exempt Bond Fund. Dreyfus Money Market Tax-Exempt Fund. Again, no federal tax.
Right. In effect, income is up 60% in the top tax bracket.
No wonder you're king of tax-exempt bond funds. Shall we have lunch?
Let's go back to Independence Hall and Action News reporter Dave Frankel. David?
Well, Jim, we're here with the executive director of We the People 200, Fred Stein. And Fred, congratulations. Quite a celebration this afternoon.
Thank you, and it's only partway over. The best has all, we've seen it, and the best is still yet to come.
So far, any glitches? None that we could detect.
Well, someone claimed that there was rain today. Personally, I didn't see any or feel any, but there are no glitches. Everything is happening. There are literally over 100,000 people down at the picnic right now partying, with a lot more expected as the evening grows later towards the fireworks display.
We're spectators to this, and we were moved by it because of your close involvement. Were you detached from it in a way, or could you experience that moment?
Well, I was literally too close to the parade, being next to it and inside of it. But there were many moments, the Stars and Stripes and the America's Cup coming up the street, where it really was a chilling experience, especially for those of us who had been working on this for years and years, and seeing a plan and a concept and even a dream actually come true.
And what are the highlights still to come this evening?
We have afternoon picnic, evening entertainment down at Penn's Landing, followed by a spectacular bridge lighting and fireworks display. And the picnic goes on all weekend.
Okay, Fred Stein, congratulations again. So far, so good. We have no reason to believe that the rest of it won't be just as spectacular. And, of course, you'll see all of it here on Channel 6. Jim?
Thank you, David. Fred Stein said there were about 100,000 people down at Penn's Landing. Two of them are Wally Kennedy and Liz Starr. Wally, Liz?
Hi, Jim.
Hi.
I think the most remarkable accomplishment of the day, and there's not a person here who hasn't reflected upon it, is that till this year, there wasn't an American who couldn't get a lump in their throat and think back at the date July 4th, 1776, and that date had real meaning to them. But if you talked about the date September 17th, 1787, they would draw a blank. What was the meaning of the day? But we have spent an entire summer here with broadcasters like ourselves, reminding people of what went on day by day, the importance of those secret meetings held by those men, how they battled out their thoughts. And now we've come to the conclusion of that, the ringing of the bells a few minutes ago. There's probably not an American now who wouldn't look at September 17th, 1787 and say, that day has great meaning to me now.
And for that reason, I'm awfully glad that a lot of the young people have the day off from school, because other than doing the things that kids always do when they've got the day off from school, hopefully a little bit of this has sunk in, because it's obviously a very important day, as you suggest, not just another day off. The other thing that I think really should be pointed out is, as we listen to all this business about the Constitution, I think I remember our English lit teacher telling us that the definition of a classic was something that stood the test of time. And so we're talking about what was done 200 years ago today, and at the same time, just this week, the entire Senate is sitting in judgment over Robert Bork and how this individual fits into that framework that was patterned by those 38 men 200 years ago. It's obviously a document that has stood the test of time. Now, I should make mention of the fact that the one thing that has really changed since the last time we came to you, the sun came out.
Glorious.
And as a matter of fact, that people this time around have put the umbrellas away, and they look like they mean business.
One of the fun things is I think the t-shirt salesmen have done real well today because of the little bit of sprinkling that's happened occasionally throughout the afternoon. But now that seems to be wrapped up, and there are probably, what was the figure Jim used? About 100,000 people down here at Penn's Landing?
Easily.
Still, a real relaxed crowd, and Denise James is with some of those people, so let's check in with her. Denise?
Well, Liz, you know that this is one of those countries where there are all kinds of people here, all kinds of cultures. This celebration is one that's attracting all kinds of people. Going through the crowd, I ran into this woman who is Sean Frick with her daughter Tegan, and she has a very interesting costume. First of all, it is a Welsh costume, I take it.
Yes.
What does all of this mean? Explain it to me.
This is the costume of the rural areas of Wales. The traditional Welsh costume consists of the petticoat or pice, and the top is called the bedgown or betgun.
And you're from Wales originally?
My mother is from Wales, so I have a Welsh background. I grew up in England, as you can hear from my accent, but I've always identified with the Welsh side of the family.
Now, your daughter Tegan, you don't seem to have as strong of an accent of your mother as your mother does, but you both seem to have the same kind of excitement about this celebration. How are you enjoying yourself so far?
It's really interesting. It's a lot of fun.
What kinds of things have you seen so far today?
I was watching the parade, and I've seen many things.
What'd you like about the parade? Do you remember any float in particular that you liked a lot?
There were a couple from foreign places that seemed interesting to me.
Now, after this is all over, are we going to see you again in shorts so you can run around and look like the rest of these kids around here?
I doubt it.
Okay, well, I thank you both for joining me. And before I throw it back to Liz and Wally, I don't know if you can hear in the background, if we can pan over and see the Sweet Adelines. They are a group that's from Valley Forge. They're singing. They're a barbershop vocalist group. They won the last 2 times they entered the world contest. The last 2 times. One of them was 1983. Let's take a listen. They're pretty good.
I love the jive he loves me. Coffee and tea and the jive and me.
Now, I don't know if I could have sung that any better myself. I probably would have needed the sound of the shower to do that. Liz and Wally, what do you think?
After Chris.
4 stages of entertainment here at Penn's Landing, where you see the Sweet Adelines is just one of the many choices you have if you come down here and join the picnic. And the crowd is enlarging every minute, because I think we noticed that people are starting to come with plans of staying for the duration, right through the fireworks.
I was just saying that Chris Wagner is standing by on what is certainly one of the centerpieces of this celebration at Penn's Landing. It is a 672-foot ocean-going cruiser registered from Nassau called the Royal Viking Sky. She's been there the better part of the afternoon, and things are beginning to heat up there too. Right, Chris?
They certainly are. It's getting warm out here, but I'm telling you, the view is so spectacular here. You can have a view of the river, you get a view of Penn's Landing and the crowd behind us. It really is fabulous, and we can't wait for the fireworks, because we're going to have a great view of those also. Joining me now is the captain of this ship. He is Captain Jacob Lota. He is a Norwegian himself. And how do you like Philadelphia so far?
I haven't seen so much. I haven't been ashore yet, but that's the only thing I can see from here. I really like it.
That's always the problem, being the captain of the ship, huh? You have to stay back and take care of business.
Exactly. I'm always staying on board.
Now, I understand that passengers could leave at various points along this cruise, which, in case you don't know, started almost 19 days ago in San Francisco. How many of the original 600 are still with us now in Philadelphia?
We have a 280 on board.
280, so I guess we have to assume that those are the people who are really interested in the Constitution.
That's for sure, yes.
Have you scheduled activities for them? There's almost nobody on board.
There have been scheduled shore excursion tours. The first tour left this morning. They watched the parade and they had lunch ashore.
That's great. And I talked to some people who said that they had gone to the art museum in various places.
There are quite a few ashore now, yeah.
Why don't you tell us about the ship?
The ship is built in Finland. It's 28,078 gross tons. Let's see, it was 674 feet long.
It's got 2 pools. We're looking at one of them, and I know there's another one up there.
There's a small pool up on the sky deck too, yeah.
A lot of lounges, a big restaurant.
There's a lot of lounges, restaurants, a couple of bars, of course.
The bottom line is, what he's trying to say is that you could be very comfortable on here for 5 minutes, 5 hours, 5 weeks, you name it, right? This is a place to relax.
You can relax and you can be busy 24 hours a day.
Yeah, you certainly can. It's either or, isn't it? I think most of the people today have gone ashore and are being busy onshore. As we said, you know, many of them left. The diehards, the one who really were interested in the Constitutional Bicentennial, are the ones who stayed on board, and they are off ship now. They're out there, and there certainly is a lot behind us going on, isn't there?
That's for sure. We're going to have a big party on board tonight, where the passenger can sit up on deck and watch the lightning on the bridge and the fireworks.
And that will be a spectacular view from here, going right over our shoulders. As you can see behind me, we're going to have a bird's eye view of it all. Captain, thank you very much for joining us. Back to you, Wally and Liz.
Well, Chris, as the captain suggests, not only do you have the bridge and the fireworks, but also you have the Freedom Flotilla this evening at 7:30 right here on the Delaware, with the Royal Viking Sky as kind of the centerpiece. Some of the tall ships will be parading upriver. One of the many things that people are looking forward to seeing there. They are streaming by the thousands right now as we speak to you from Penn's Landing.
And also it will be mostly private boaters who've decorated their boats. If you're familiar, and a lot of people in the Delaware Valley are, with Night in Venice in Ocean City, they consulted to the Freedom Flotilla event. And so if you like Night in Venice, you're going to love what goes on here this evening. Now we're going to check in with Robin Garrison from Action News, because she's got some of the other people who are crucial to the success of the event. Robin? Liz? I have assembled a couple of friends here who are going to give us an idea of the kinds of souvenirs that you can buy to commemorate your celebration of the Constitution's bicentennial. Now take a look at this stuff. This is great. First of all, of course, we have your standard t-shirt. I think everybody should have a We the People 200 t-shirt. Of course, you can get a We the People 200 mug. There is the We the People Bicentennial Celebration banner, but I think the greatest thing that I have seen out here so far today are the hats. Take a look at these hats. A We the People 200 hat. Is that the cutest thing you ever saw? But the scene stealer, and it's not even related to We the People 200, are these things. Take a look at this. This is a Statue of Liberty hat. Aren't those cute? I love those. I saw these little girls walking along, and I said, wait a minute, I have to put you on television. How do you like your hat? You like it? Oh, I think you're so cute in that hat. We also wanted to talk about the music because the Latin rhythm and blues group Siembra is playing, is providing us with a little rhythm here for our souvenirs. Let's go back now to Liz and Wally.
Robin, thank you very much. As you can see, things are really beginning to cook down here at Penn's Landing.
And we're going to check in with you a little bit later on, keep you up to date with the Great American Picnic, the first of 4 days. Let's go back to Jim Gardner at the studio, though.
Thanks, folks. I know where the fun is now. All right, we will continue our coverage of Constitution Day in just a moment.
Kmart presents The Sensible Shoe. So what is it that makes these shoes so sensible? It's how much you get for the price. Like these women's pumps in the latest styles and colors, 2 pairs for $15. Sensible shoes. On sale this week at Kmart.
From Athens, Georgia to Athens, Greece, one of the world's big watches is Pulsar, with designs that are the rage in Paris, France, and Paris, Texas, and a price that's as appealing in Glasgow, Kentucky as it is in Glasgow, Scotland, which just goes to show, from Venice, Italy to Venice, California to Venice, Florida, the world knows a great watch when it sees one. Pulsar.
Now there's a barbecue potato chip that's missing something. New Pringles Light Barbecue.
Know what it's missing? A lot of the fat you get in their regular potato chips.
But you'll never miss it. And it's missing a lot of the salt you get in those chips. But you'll never miss it.
New Pringles Light Barbecue in the silver can with so much tangy barbecue flavor.
You'll never miss what's missing.
You think it'd be okay for Joe to walk right up to this wire and give it a little kick with his foot?
I think he's going to get a hot foot.
See the electricity jumping through the air there? That's the reason we tell you to stay at least 10 feet away.
Every year, over 40,000 children in the Philadelphia area learn about electrical safety from the Ready and Eddie show put on by Philadelphia Electric. To arrange a visit to your school, call 841-5582. Philadelphia Electric. People working for you right now.